So where does PayPal stand concerning the GDPR?
So I do think that PayPal is in a pretty good spot at the moment because we did a lot of work, like all our other colleagues as well, working in this area. So what we basically did is that we have put a program in place, which is a very comprehensive program over the 3 year time frame. We basically involved everyone at PayPal, so because we realized, as everyone else would know, that you need to basically involve everyone at PayPal, every function need to pull the same ropes, right? We have different work streams in place which are very much matching the GDPR requirements, and yeah, we have done our utmost.
Where did you see the biggest challenges concerning this GDPR at PayPal?
So I think the biggest challenges for sure is the data mapping, because this is literally the core piece of the GDPR, and I think that's a big challenge for big companies like ours, also working and actually acting and operating on a global level. That was one of the challenges, but then also, as I mentioned earlier, I believe it was pretty challenging to get all the right people on the place. Well, on the stage, let's put it that way, because in fact what you need to do is to talk to the different functions, right? And as soon as there's someone working in silos, then most probably you won't capture their processes, and that's the most crucial thing to do, I believe.
And what will change for the customers, or how will you give this new GDPR to the customers?
So what we will do is to inform our customers via email of what will change. We also have live a site on our website which explains a little bit what GDPR means and what will change. Additionally, in our internal processes, so if you pay with PayPal, for example, you will find a new preference management center where you can literally choose of how your data should be shared with someone, or if you want to receive marketing emails, or if you do want to receive marketing emails, if you probably just want to receive marketing emails in a different area, but not all of them. So our philosophy around that was really respecting the choice of the customers, of our users, and also, so not only customers, but also merchants, and to make sure that they can choose and pick what they want to do to have the best experience with the product.
And what would you say, there's 11 days left, what's left to do?
Oh, as said, I think we're in a pretty good spot already. There will always be something which you can improve, so literally we will start right after the deadline. We will start with phase 2 to review all the processes and make sure that they work smoothly. And as said, there's always something you can improve, and I'm pretty sure that we will not run out of challenges also once GDPR has kicked in.
And you have talked about the new role of the DPO, of the Data Protection Officer. What is it?
So this is, the new, for Germans, I think that's not really new, because we have this concept of data protection officers already for quite some time, and I think all I said was literally, known to them. On the other hand, it was important to me to speak about this whole topic because this is what I'm excited about, right? I do believe that a good DPO for a company is an asset. I do believe it's super important that you have a good relationship with your regulator, because I believe that you can only solve issues or challenges if you talk to each other. And as a DPO, I believe you should be a good partner for regulators as well as for the company as well. So since this is so important to me, I thought it was a good, let's say, presentation to make people aware that the DPO is not someone you should install just because of GDPR, but really taking advantage of a person who can communicate with the regulator on behalf of your company and basically avoid challenges in the future and just have everything right in place right from the beginning.
And what would your advice be for DPOs? What shall they do now?
Well, my advice would be to, first of all, if you start to really understand how your company works, to understand the processes and to make sure that you know, let's say, the responsible people in your company, because basically what you have to do is to know right away whom to involve in case you run into issues or challenges. That's the most important thing. And the second thing I believe as a DPO, what is really important is to be visible. So give the people the feeling, so users customers, whatever you want to call them, which are using your online product, give them the feeling that there is someone who will help you or who will help them to resolve any issues which they might experience. Or also, if there are only questions, to make sure that they are explained in proper and pretty straightforward words and not too legalistic or not too IT-istic or something like that. Just make sure that you speak in plain language.
And how do you think a conference like that could like help maybe the communication, or what's the added value?
Well, for me as a DPO at the moment, the added value is, shortly before GDPR kicks in, to speak with like peers and to find out what they are doing and with challenges they struggle. And I do think it raises experience generally. So especially this conference, I think it's becoming bigger and bigger every year and people are talking about it. And I just mentioned yesterday to a colleague of mine that changes, of course, are somehow driven by law, but mostly they're also driven by people thinking about their rights. And since GDPR is so basically big for like granting you rights vis-a-vis companies, I think this is what people will think about in future. And I would expect that the interest will even raise for these kind of conferences to just explain what happens in the area, because we know that technology is like running. We're always running behind it, and I believe that people who are interested in technology will ask further questions in future with raising new challenges like artificial intelligence or something like that.